variable name can contain alphabets, digits and an underscore. No space is allowed, no special characters allowed, and you cannot use a keyword as a variable name. Next, we move on to literals or constants. We have talked about constant a little while before, where I told you that a constant is a data item which cannot change its value during the execution of the program. If you try to change it, it flashes an error, and to create a constant you have to precede the declaration of that constant with the keyword const. Different types of literals or constants that we are going to study are integer constants, character constants, floating constants and string constants. You have heard about integers, characters and floats in this session. String is something new. A string is a set of characters. Say for example, I want to store your name. A character can store only a single character. Say your name is Amit. If I create a character variable, it will store only A. But a name is not a single character. A name is a set of characters. So, to store set of characters, I use strings. And if I want to give a fixed value to a string, it becomes a string constant. So, now let us do these various constants one by one. First, the integer constants. Integers are numbers, constants are fixed values. So, integer constants are whole numbers which are not having any fractional part, which are not having any decimals, and the values once given cannot be changed. Various types of integer constants are decimal, whose base is 10. The numbers, the decimal numbers are formed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And decimal numbers should not begin with a 0. The examples are given on your screen. Then you have octal numbers or octal constants. The base is 8. Octal numbers consist of digits only 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they are always starting with a 0. This is how you differentiate between a decimal number and an octal number. You can see that 0, 1, 3 is 13. If I write it just 1, 3, it is a decimal number. If I write 0, 1, 3, it becomes an octal number. Then you have the hexadecimal integers, which are of the base 16. These are consisting of digits 0 to 9 and then alphabets A to F. That means a 10 in decimal is A in hexadecimal. Similarly, an 11 in decimal is a B in hexadecimal, and so on. All hexadecimal numbers are preceded with either OX in small case or in uppercase. You can see in the examples OX4, OXE, OX51, all these are hexadecimal numbers. Next, we move on to character constants. Contains one or more characters, must be enclosed in single quotation marks. The examples are seen here. All characters, even the digit, as I explained before, it is a digit, but it is a character if it is enclosed in single quotes. And they can also have non-graphic characters, or as I explained before, white space characters which can't be typed directly from the keyboard, like backspace, tab, enter key. All these are white space or non-graphic characters. All these non-graphic characters are represented by escape sequences. The table here shows escape sequences for some of the character constants. If you want to use them in the program, say you want to use a backspace, you have to give /b. You cannot press a backspace key in the program, it is not possible. But you want to show it in the output, the backspace key, the effect of the backspace key, then you will use a /b. You want to show a carriage return, /r, and so on. So, these are white space or non-graphic characters which are used in the program by using escape sequences. Next, we move on to floating constants. You know that floats are the decimal numbers. Each float number or a real number, or we call them real constants, have two parts, a fractional form and an exponential form. They can be positive, as integers can be positive or negative, floats can also be positive, negative. The mantissa part, which is the integer constant, is followed by a capital E or a small e, while the exponent form is a integer. The examples are given below, like 2e03 or 3.45e07 means 03 is the exponent part, 2 is the mantissa part. Similarly, in the next thing, 3.45 is the mantissa part and 07 is the exponent part. So, these are floating constants. Next, we have string constants. A string is a set of multiple characters. A string is always and always enclosed in double quotes. If you remember, a character constant is enclosed in single quotes. A character constant is a single character. A string constant, on the other hand, is a set of multiple characters. So, it is always enclosed within double quotes. And every string constant is by default added with a null character at the end. The string is not terminated, means the end of the string is not considered till the time the null character is not encountered by the compiler. For example, let us consider the string as hello. Now, if you see, hello is formed from 5 characters, H-E-L-L-O. Together, they form a string hello, and in memory, hello is represented as shown in red. It is terminated by a null character. Every string, please remember, every string has to have a null character at the end. It is automatically added by the compiler when you save this string or when you enter this string through the keyboard. You will learn more about these strings in the coming sessions. Next, we move on to punctuators. Various special characters that you have on the keyboard are punctuators. Each and every character has got a specific purpose. You have to use it according to that very purpose. For example, round brackets cannot be used in place of curly brackets and vice versa, although they are brackets, but still they are used for specific purposes. Next, we have input output. If I am making a program, I need to accept data from the user. I need to give the output to the user. So, I need to know how input and output can be done in a program. It is done using 2 streams, input and output streams. Cin is the console input stream. When I say console, it is the default input device, which is the keyboard. Cout is the console output stream. That means the default output device, which is the monitor. I use these 2 streams along with 2 operators, that is greater than and less than. We call them extraction operator or get from operator and insertion operator or put to operators respectively. So, with Cin, I will use the symbol greater than, the first symbol that is coming on the screen, and with Cout, I use less than. So, whenever I want to input any data, I will use Cin greater than. If I want to output any data, I will use Cout less than. As you see in the example, I want to display the message hello. Hello is a string constant, if you remember, so it is enclosed in double quotes. I want to display it on the monitor, I use it with Cout less than. I want to accept marks from the user, I declare the variable marks, because you remember we discussed before that a variable cannot be used without declaring it first. So, first I declared the variable marks and then I am asking the user to enter the value of marks. The command for the same is Cin greater than. So, whatever is coming from the keyboard is being stored in the variable marks, which is an integer type of variable. So, this is an example of input and output. So, this second statement, accepting an integer from the keyboard and storing it at the memory location by the name marks.
I hope you must have found this video very interesting. We have learnt about C++ character set, basic data types and tokens used in C++ programming language. In the next video, we will explain you the operators used in C++ programming language. Let us meet in the next video. Till then, it's bye from Radhika.